And then I'm gonna be back on the microphone as your hostess with the mostest. Is that cool with y'all? Y'all ready for this short video? All right, let's get this work.
Hi, I'm Andrew. Hi, I'm Andrew Frazier, Masterpreneur and founder of Small Business Pro University. Join me at the Small Business Pro Power Conference on July 25th at NJPAC in Newark, New Jersey. To learn best practices, enjoy great networking, and gain useful knowledge. We will supercharge your day. To learn more and register, visit www.sbprou.com/conference.
This event was a wow. Every panel, every speaker has had so much amazing content and good information to share. This is a good day to put aside, to come out and do some learning, but also make some great connections. The ones that I made were impactful.
For more than 10 years, our events have directly generated tens of millions of dollars in revenue and financing for attendees. The conference theme is business success in times of uncertainty. It begins with Power Breakfast, sponsored by TD Bank. You don't want to miss our keynote speaker, Natalie Madeira-Koki, CEO of AEO. She has been named one of the most powerful women in business by Entrepreneur Magazine. There will be 2 breakout sessions following the Power Breakfast. Nikisha Wilson will facilitate a panel on financial management from A to Z, and Urban Hughes will lead a 10X growth accelerator strategy session.
Hey everyone, Urban Hughes with American Credit. This message is to invite you to join me at this summer's Power Conference. That's right, folks, I'm coming to see you. I'm going to do 2 things while I'm there. I'm going to show you how to grow your revenue and profits.
After that is the Power Lunch, sponsored by Verizon Business, and keynoted by Calvin Reed, business owner and executive vice president of New Africa Development Corporation. He was a co-founder of Connection Communications Corporation, Newark's original cable franchise. There will also be 2 breakout sessions following the Power Lunch. I'll be facilitating a panel on financing your business faster and easy. And Jessica Spaulding, president and CEO of the Harlem Chocolate Factory, will discuss strategies for networking and marketing your business. She's been featured in Forbes Magazine, Entrepreneur.com, and the Kate Spade Foundation. And then we'll wrap things up with a happy hour for networking and socializing. I look forward to seeing you at the Small Business Pro Power Conference on July 25th in Newark, New Jersey. To learn more and register, visit www.sbprou.com/conference.
Give it up, everyone. Can we be real today? Can we be real today? We often hear the economy is down, right? Do y'all feel that the economy is down? Have sales flatlined? This is supposed to be a safe space. Let me just be very clear. This is a safe space to have real conversation, right? Every time you turn on the news, do you always hear bad news about business? Y'all know I like call and response. I am not the professor. I am not the professor. So when I say this is a safe space, I want to actually talk about real issues, because why are you all here today? You hear everything that is bad. Sales flatlining. You're looking, clients acting like they don't know you anymore. Customers like looking away when they see you because they know they have not paid, right? Anybody experiencing that? Raise your hands and say, yes, pitch please. With the P, y'all. Some of y'all are here clutching imaginary pearls. But the truth is, honestly, That's why this particular conference was created. Do you all know the theme of today's conference? I'm sorry?
I know that word uncertainty.
I saw that word too, and I was like, It's called business success in times of uncertainty. And so when you hear all of these bad news, everywhere you turn, your friend is losing their job, you are not making as much sales, you don't have the clients and customers coming in like they used to. Is it over? Is it over for us?
No.
I know some of y'all eating, y'all like, can you just let me eat? But I know you're looking at me. I know you're looking at me. The point is today, I want y'all to stand up. Right now, stand up. Because some of y'all are tired. Some of y'all waiting for the professor to walk in and just talk to y'all. That's not what we're going to do today. Who's ever heard of Lenny Kravitz? Do you ever remember his song? It ain't over till it's over. So the point of this conference is we're still going to succeed in times of uncertainty, right? No matter what's happening in the economy, no matter what's happening in this economy, turn to your neighbor right now and say, it ain't over. The success is about to begin. And I need y'all to say it with your whole chest. Don't be like, yeah, say it with your whole chest. Say it again to your neighbor. Success is about to begin. Bigger, better, brighter, and faster, right? That's right. You over here the tall young daddy is looking at me like, yeah, I'm gonna go on whatever you say, myself. You all may be seated. So welcome to the Power Breakfast and Conference, started by the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew Frazier. Give it up for Andrew Frazier. I've been a client of Andrew Frazier's for years, and this man has taken me from, what did the numbers say? We making money? Oh, I better be grateful I can speak, because if I couldn't and make money, then I probably wouldn't be here with you right now. So today, when we talk about the theme being businesses as in times of uncertainty, how many of you all have heard every no under the sun from a prospect? I like calling response. Some of y'all can open your mouth and say some things. Listen, some of us heard it yesterday. Some of us might have heard it 5 minutes ago, right? So businesses as in times of uncertainty. How many of y'all had to make a way out of no way regardless? How many of y'all had to be like Clark Atlanta, find a way or make one? That's right. Even though I did Frederick Spelman College. My point today, as your hostess with the mostest and your proud MCs, today you're gonna hear pearls of wisdom. You're gonna hear from those who, even when times were so rough, they found a way. They saw a vision and they kept pressing on. I don't know, some of you all may not know my story, but I have been homeless on the streets of New York. And it wasn't that long ago. It was 8-9 years ago. This is after I was on Shark Tank season 8 in 2016. And then losing the love of my life. But I grew up in the hood of St. Louis, Missouri. So you can imagine going from the hood of St. Louis to Spelman, to Georgetown University Law Center, Rutgers Law School, where I graduated from NJPAC in 2007 from law school. And then becoming an attorney in the great state of New York, passed the bar on my first try. Let me say that again. I passed the bar on my first try. I've been fully funded in all of my post-high school. Every school I've ever attended was on a full scholarship. But how did that happen if I came from no money? My grandparents couldn't afford. The power of communication. The power of building relationships. So you're going to hear pearls of wisdom. You're going to hear from the greatest to have done it in times of uncertainty. There's more wealth built in times of uncertainty. Would you like some of that? Who wants some? Who want to know where the money resides? Who wants to know where the money resides? This is a step in times of uncertainty. In this room right now is a sponsor waiting for you all. So you should be opening your mouths and talking to people. In this room is your next client or customer. In this room are lucrative opportunities that you can't see right now, but someone sitting across from you knows where they're going to position you. Is that okay? So open your mouth and talk to each other. Please support the vendors, the speakers. Go ham and cheese. We already know some of us will want to be asleep right now, but we came here to get this work.
Okay.
And so now, I'm going to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew Frazier, the creator of the Power Breakfast and Conference, someone I'm so proud to have been my business advisor, who went to MIT. I can't really even say MIT because I feel ashamed saying it because clearly I couldn't have gotten into school. Graduate of NYU Stern, naval officer, and he has trained and coached so many small business owners. This man has worked with some of the biggest companies in the world and the smallest companies in the world. And so he created this for us. In his years of doing this conference and the breakfasts, there have been over $10 million that have flowed through here. Many of us have worked with each other in this room to keep the money collective. So when I say today, business success in times of uncertainty, open your mouths and talk to each other. Listen to the speakers, talk to them, talk to the vendors. We've all been here for a reason. We will continue to be here for a reason. Andrew Frazier, the man, the myth, the legend, small business like a pro CEO. Come to the forefront.
Precious, thank you. You're the best.
I'll be trying.
Thank you everybody for joining us today. This is the Power Breakfast, and it's a Power Breakfast for a reason. What we do here at the Power Breakfast is we focus on helping you learn best practices, gain useful knowledge, and also enjoy great networking. So it's an opportunity to really take advantage of, take this day and come into the room. Our goal is to supercharge your day. So what does that mean? That means you leave the room in a much different state than when you came in. You're more excited about your business, you have more opportunities to grow, and you learn things that will help you be more successful in business. So we're gonna ask you if we did our job a little bit later, but our goal is to supercharge your day. If you're sitting at a table with people that you know, you shouldn't be sitting at that table. Your goal is to meet new people today. So there's an opportunity to switch now or later, but definitely make sure you're meeting everybody. We like to keep our meetings intimate, so everybody should be able to meet everybody else by the end of the day. So that should be your goal. So now, with the Power Breakfast, we've been doing it for over 10 years now, and it's led to tens of millions of dollars in additional revenue for attendees as well as financing for attendees. So there's a lot of power in this room. We've got a lot of great people in this room. So we're excited about being able to have you here today. And our agenda. So we've got our full day conference. Once a year we do a full day conference. Twice a year we just do a Power Breakfast event. And what we do is the night before we have a power networking where we get together and really build relationships and get started early before the conference. So if you can make it the night before, and also some people can't make it today, come the night before. So 3 times a year, March, July, and November, we have our events, and hopefully you can join us next time. Today we've got the Power Breakfast, which we're starting right now. We've got breakout sessions. We've got 2 great breakout sessions, which you saw in the video. And then we've got our power lunch, and then finally 2 other breakout sessions. So we've got a full day, and then end it with some networking and happy hour. So the Power Breakfast today, we're really looking forward to it. We've got business success in times of uncertainty. And our breakout sessions here, I'm gonna go a little quick, and then the networking. Nobody does things alone. So partnerships are critical. So it's important to partner with people, and we've got a lot of great partners who help to support us in this and just in business in general. But a few of the key ones, moving forward small business, JM Multimedia Group, who's doing our media, the Positive Community Magazine, Perfect Pitch Group and Precious, The Way, PR firm, and quite a few others. So partnerships are key. It's also sponsors are key. So definitely Tab of Northern New Jersey. Gene Bahinsky leads Tab of Northern New Jersey over there. We got Empower the Village, which is our nonprofit partner right there. We've got Archer's Contact Solutions, which is another piece of Gene's business. And then we've got TD Bank, who is the Power Breakfast sponsor. So excited about them sponsoring Power Breakfast as well as the morning breakouts. And they're not going to be able to be here till this afternoon, unfortunately, but I got a quick video of them and what their thing is all about, and then we'll continue to move on.
Life runs on its own schedule. So at TD, we run on yours. Because sometimes going for a walk just can't wait. And your morning meeting runs over because, well, look at that face. At TD, we know life's most important appointments come first. So if you're there, we're there too. That's how we're making banking unexpectedly human.
Okay, great. And in the afternoon panel on financing, TD Bank's lead banker for SBA financing is going to be here. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for that as well. So thanks again for TD Bank. And next we've got Small Business Pro University. That's what we're all about. And it really focus on helping entrepreneurs and business owners to be more successful. So just play a short video about Small Business Pro University so you know what it is, and then we'll continue on.
Many small businesses experience low or no revenue growth, and the owners are not making enough money. I founded Small Business Pro University to help you break that cycle by empowering you with greater knowledge and enhanced skills to lead your organization more effectively. Over the past 15 years, I've collaborated with organizations like the Small Business Development Center, Rising Tide Capital, Empower the Village, NJNEP, Rutgers University, and SCORE to work one-on-one with over 1,000 business owners and teach tens of thousands of people about business. My experience includes serving as a naval officer, managing businesses, graduating from MIT, earning an MBA from NYU, and achieving the CFA designation, which has prepared me to accomplish my mission of helping 1 million innate business owners to sell more, maximize profit, and finance growth by 2028. My vision is to create the ultimate business ecosystem for entrepreneurs. Small Business Pro University empowers entrepreneurs like you to run their businesses more professionally and create sustainable enterprises. We employ my proven proprietary Masterpreneur Playbook framework to guide your journey along the Masterpreneur path and facilitate your Masterpreneur evolution to work on your business and scale faster and easier. Small Business Pro University provides access to valuable resources, partnerships, and relationships that will help you to sell more, maximize profit, and finance growth. Our Masterpreneur initiatives include the Small Business Pro Network, 100+ expert-led multimedia courses, intensive training workshops, Spanish language training, Leadership Live at 8:05, live stream and podcast, in-person Power Breakfast events, and advisory coaching, consulting, and training services.
Okay, excellent. So that's what Small Business Pro University is all about. We have some key initiatives that I just want to make sure you know about. The first is the POW. Anyone know what the POW is? Raise your hand if you know what the POW is. All right, well, everybody should know what the POW is. It's the plan of the week. As a business person, failing to plan is planning to fail. So we set out the plan of the week email every day with info about different events, business tips, and activities and opportunities. So if you're not on a mailing list, you may want to be on a mailing list so you can get the POW every week. Every Tuesday night, we have a live stream called Leadership Live at 8:05, talking small business. Actually, our guest this week is our keynote speaker today. So you may have gotten a quick glimpse of her, but now you're really going to get her full force. And we're looking forward to it. So every Tuesday night, 8 p.m., YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. And we've been doing it for almost 5 years now. September 30th, we're going to have our 5-year anniversary of the live stream. So, we've had over 250 guests on the live stream, which is amazing. And all of them have been, shared a lot of value and wisdom. We've got several people in the room who have been on the live stream. Raise your hand if you've been on the live stream. Okay, all right, excellent. So, definitely this is a great, powerful room because you've got a lot of great people there. And one thing that I'm just unveiling publicly today is in celebration of the 5 years of the live stream, we're actually launching our new book, 99 Proven Tips to Sell More, Maximize Profit, and Finance Growth. And these are 99 tips from the guests. At the end of each show, I ask people to talk about the key 3 takeaways from the show. And, a lot of wisdom, a lot of power in that. So we're combining that into the book, 99 Ways. So you can actually pre-order it, and it's going to come out on the 30th. So definitely you don't want to miss this because there's going to be a lot of great stuff in there. And then one other thing that we're launching is I created the Masterpreneur Playbook, which is a book about the 5 steps from growing from startup to scaling your business. And I used that and developed that over the years working with business owners. I really found the key 5 steps that it takes to grow your business. So there's a Masterpreneur path that your business has 5 steps. And then there's a Masterpreneur evolution, where you as a business owner has to evolve in each step so that you can lead your organization successfully through the next step. So those 2 combined is the key to being able to go from startup to scaling your business. And I've done that with clients over the years, but now we're just put together the beta version of our online assessment, our Small Business Pro Growth Assessment. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to give you a Masterpreneur score that's going to tell you where you are along the path. But it's also it's based on 10 business growth factors. So in each of the growth factors, you're going to get a rating, and each one is going to tell you where you are and what you should do next. Because one of the challenges of business owners is there's so much to do that's hard to know what to focus on. So that's going to be available for free initially. So hopefully you'll take advantage of it. I'll send an email after the conference to check it out. And that's the Masterpreneur score. We invited the mayor to come and be a guest speaker, but he did send a letter and a proclamation to support, and that he appreciates what we're doing. So he's a busy guy, but great mayor doing great things for the city of Newark. And so that means I get to introduce the featured guest speaker. So I'm very excited to have Natalie Madeira-Cofield come up from Washington, D.C. to speak to us. She is the CEO of AEO, which is an organization that's critical for helping and representing and collecting data and information and sharing it about small businesses and entrepreneurship. So very excited to have her here today. Had her as a guest on the live stream last week, and I'm going to let her take it from here. But thank you. We're excited to hear from you, and welcome.
I am going to provide a speech, try to make this also very interactive, share some of my own personal experiences, and really ground our morning today with the foundation of what this conference is about, which is about business success in times of uncertainty. So first and foremost, I just want to thank you all for being in the room today and showing up for yourselves. It's bright, it's early, and this room is filled with brilliance, resilience, and boundless energy, as we've heard from our intro here. And I also want to thank Andrew Frazier for inviting me to speak to you all and to provide some inspiration this morning. I first want to just start with a quote. And I'm going to drop a few of these gems. I want you all to ruminate. I want this to ruminate with you. I want you all to write these things down. Because entrepreneurship is hard enough as it is, right? I always consider entrepreneurship to be, the self-actualization. The greatest form of self-actualization that one can strive for. And when I say that, what do I mean? The ability to sell whatever you mentally, physically can do is a form of self-actualization. And so entrepreneurship is the greatest form of that. But the quote is from Franklin Roosevelt, and it is, "Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor." Okay, so we're gonna say, I'm gonna take you up on this. If we could all call and respond to that. Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor.
Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor.
Thank you. And so why that quote stays with me is because we're all navigating rough waters, and we're becoming stronger, more agile, and more determined in the process. Again, when you think of entrepreneurship as the greatest form of self-actualization, I know that you all know how many times you have to talk to yourself. Today is going to be a good day. Today, I'm not going to be defeated by hearing no from someone. And if I do, I'm going to get up again tomorrow. So again, I want you all to think about this as the greatest form of self-actualization. And we're gathering today under the banner of business success in times of uncertainty. But I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. We have been living in uncertain times for the last half decade, to be candid with you. And so the fact that we're all in this room today means that we've survived actually one of the most significant moments of uncertainty that our generation, our lifetimes, period, of our parents' lifetimes and of our lifetime, and we hope of our children's lifetime. We hope that we will never experience what we experienced when we went through COVID-19 and everyone had to shut their doors. Everyone had to shut their doors. There were mass layoffs. There was a complete shift and change in the economy. And the fact that we're here today, still showing up for our entrepreneurial endeavors, still showing up for ourselves, is a testament of the fact that you can persevere in your own strength. So I don't want us to get all derailed by how much is happening today and forget about how much we've already been through. Because it is that same strength that it took for you to go through COVID that it's going to take for you to get through this moment. And so, as I mentioned, from a global pandemic that rewrote every rule of how we do business, it literally did rewrite every rule of how we do business, to rising interest rates and supply chain shocks that we've recently endured, to budget cuts that are threatening the very programs that keep our small business ecosystem alive, and to AI and the digital transformation, speeding up faster than many of us can even download the software for it, right? And so just as people are starting to learn about AI, at the same time, you're being threatened with the idea that AI is taking your job. It's coming for your job, right? And this, again, is just off the heels of us saying, hey, we're just getting back to work, right? So this is something that we're all enduring. We have been living through uncertain times, but uncertainty isn't on the horizon, it's already here, okay? And yet, I stand before you today with a core message, and that is uncertain times do not require uncertain leadership. I'm gonna say that again. Uncertain times do not require uncertain leadership. So as they say in the world, there are only but so many things. You know, the only constant in life is change. Anybody ever heard that?
Yes.
And there's only but so many things that you can control. And one of the things that you can control is yourself. Okay? And so in this moment of uncertainty, you can control how you show up as a certain leader. As a certain leader, not just for yourselves, for the people who you work with, for your clients. I mean, this, you know, we've kind of been playing on church today, but this is almost like how a pastor feels. When they're going through a moment too, and they've got their congregation coming to them, needing to talk about a moment, right? And so I always say the masseuse needs a massage, the therapist needs therapy. The very people who provide the services that keep you going need the same services to keep themselves going. And so I think it's important for us to give space to even people that we call on, like our brother Andrew here, okay? That we call on to ask for help, for guidance, and that we believe that we have the ability to pour into people regardless of what is going on, regardless of what height we believe they have gotten to. Because we don't know what type of waters they are draining. Everybody still with me? And we have to believe that we all have something to give to the universe. Something that it could be anything from a positive spirit to a serious thought leadership. But all of that can be valuable to someone on a very instrumental day. Anybody ever had a really bad day where you felt like you were going to lose your whole business and somebody said something that made you feel good just with positive energy? Okay, so that's the way the universe works with itself. And that to me is a part of being a certain leader, because that you can control, right? And so I'll talk a little bit about myself. You know, I've spent my life working at the intersection of entrepreneurship, innovation, and what I consider to be economic justice. John O'Brien talks about the civil rights movement. So most folks talk about the civil rights movement. I talk a lot about that, along with his coining of the term, the silver rights movement. What is that? That's the great opportunity to gain economic power, to manifest your destiny through entrepreneurship, to gain an opportunity, and access to financing and capital, right? That is what the civil rights movement is about. And it is one of the things that often comes after conversations about the civil rights, right? But the reality is that so much of what communities are fighting for can be made possible by economic opportunity and economic independence, okay? And so, you know, for me, I started my first company when I was 26. You know, it was at that time in DC, it was a good old boys club. How I ended up creating a national women's movement was because I came home one day crying about not having a mentor. And I started reading biographies of women that I wanted to be like. And Madam C.J. Walker's bio was one. And I want to go back to my previous quote of uncertain times do not require uncertain leadership. That was a moment for me to be a certain leader for myself. Now, I could have said at that moment, I don't have a mentor, and use that as an excuse for why I wasn't going to go do something. I could have said, I sent emails to people, you know, literally with the subject line, I want to be like you when I grow up, and I would get no response. And I could have said, because I get no response, the ecosystem doesn't support me, and therefore, ... I could have allowed that to be the circumstance. But the reality is, to me, that we have now at our fingertips. Like I Googled Madam C.J. Walker. I mean, I've never met her. I don't have the opportunity to meet her. Okay? I Googled her story and read her story. Like I Googled these people, okay, and read about them. You have the ability to do that. So whether or not you are interfacing with people on a daily basis, this is the moment for you to take certain leadership within your own life and start reading about how people became successful, whether you get to meet them or not. Because the actual pathway to get there is in their bio. That's right. Alexis Herman is a woman that she recently passed. She's a soror. But I learned about corporate work by reading Alexis Herman's bio. And ironically, Alexis Herman was in the Clinton administration, and she led the Office of Women's Business Ownership or the Office of Women's Labor at the Department of Labor, and then later went on to become a Secretary of Labor and all of this. And she went on to become on boards. It was the first time I ever thought it was possible for a Black woman to be on board. Not because I met her, not because I knew people that knew her, but because I read it in her bio. Everybody still with me?
Mhm.
And today I sit on a bank board as the youngest woman on the board, one of only 2 women on the bank board. I also went on to become the head of the Office of Women's Business Ownership at SBA, where I created the largest network of women's business centers in the history of the Small Business Administration. But you know how I got there? By reading the bio of Alexis Herman. Okay? So this is not about who didn't give you time, who didn't give you anything. This is about you being a certain leader for yourself in uncertain times. Okay, and so, now I serve as the president and CEO of the Association for Enterprise Opportunity. And even the story with this, when I first started my first company, it was called NMC Consulting Group. And I wrote this book called The Pursuit of Entrepreneurship, a guide for African American entrepreneurs for the Congressional Black Caucus. And CBC, they hazed me. They didn't just give me this contract. So, I said, I could do this for you, I could do that for you. We need to be talking about entrepreneurship more. And, because I just felt like at CBC, we weren't talking about business as much as we could be. They said, okay, we'll just basically come around and we'll see if we can find budget for you. And that was a moment for me to ask myself, am I going to invest in myself now, or am I going to be upset about the possibility that I'm not getting paid at this moment and stop a blessing that could come to me? Everybody still with me? And so again, I'm a Delta, so I was like, I'm going to pledge for this. Now, whether I should have to do that or not, it's his own story. But I can't get caught up in the idea of whether I should have to do that or not. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But then I have to do that in order to get to the next level. I need to be a certain leader and just go for it. So I showed up every day to engage with them. And then they found 5 figures to give me to write this book called The Pursuit of Entrepreneurship, a guide to African American. And it didn't just come, again, from me going the first time to meet with them. They said, absolutely, we think you're fantastic. And maybe this is the tax of being a woman, the tax of being Black, the tax of being from Newark, the tax of whatever you want to call it. But if that's the tax, just collect enough coin to pay the toll.
Come on now,
Okay? That's all I'm going to tell you. Because the reality is, and when you get to the other side, then you can argue for why you shouldn't have to pay that. But you got to be on the other side of that toll road to even have the ability to have influence about how much the toll costs to be on the other side. You can't be outside picking in a toll for a side of the road you cannot get to. And here you are, you've exhausted all your time, energy, and resources in the thing you can't control. And not in the thing that you can. Certain leadership in uncertain times. You have no idea whether somebody will open the toll bridge for you. But you can know that you are standing there prepared to cross it at any time that they may do that. Certain leadership in uncertain times. And so, I have seen myself the power of how one idea, one relationship, or one pivot can change the trajectory of your life. I've witnessed it. For me, that was that moment. Then there was another time where I had an opportunity to be in a room with another very high-profile person. And I was networking with that person, but I also treated with kindness the person that was at that time their special assistant. Well, luck would have it that the person, later left. The special assistant became that role and gave me my first contract. I had no idea that person was going to become this role. Everybody still with me? Yes. And so it wasn't about me just focusing here, because I've witnessed people do that. I've witnessed people just focus here and forget the possibility that a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, the person that you disregarded, the person that you ignored, the person that you didn't value may get to that place or beyond. And the core memory that they have of you was that they weren't important enough for you to engage with. because you were only focused this way. But I believe in the power of horizontal networking, and I also believe that there are younger people than all of us. In this day of AI, there are younger people than all of us in this room that know more about things that we have never experienced in our entire life. And if we constantly little boy, little girl them, we are missing out on an opportunity to be prepared for what is next. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
I mean, taking it to popular culture, people used to make money off of the music industry. Now all of them want to be on stream. I had no idea what stream was. I don't know what Twitch is. Andrew and I were talking about this other, but these young people do. These young people know how to do this. And so we have an issue. How do I get access to markets? Well, access to markets sounds like you need to be on social media platforms sharing what it is that you do. Who is going to teach you that? And what respect do you need to give to them in order to empower them to do that for you? Understanding that there are different types of wisdom. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
Okay? Because one wisdom may have gotten you there, but it's another wisdom that may get you to the next level.
You better tell me.
And if you shut that opportunity down, you shut yourself out of the next level. We can see this with crypto. Again, there's a wisdom of finance, right? How you do this, you save, you this, to talk about crypto is like, whoa, what is this? This is some young people stuff. Now it's like, whoa, I wish I knew more about crypto. Well, you know who you gotta go talk to? Probably some young people. Because a majority of them have had their first investment in crypto. And they're not scared of it. So just be open to the ideas of wisdom. That being rooted in the belief of certain leadership. And, I think we've all also had the early moments in our journeys toward entrepreneurship where a contract has fallen through. A payment was delayed. And you had staff depending on you. I'll never forget I lost a contract with Google. I had to go into my office, a week later, and I had to tell my team, listen, I put my house on the market, lost this contract with Google. I just want to let you all know, if you need to start looking for another job, I totally understand, and I will support you through that process. I would love for you to stay. Do you know that everybody stayed? But they stayed because part of this process was about the transparency. It was about being honest. So as the CEO of the organization, you were close on the ground with your team. If you think about corporate America, you rarely ever see your CEO. You don't know what's going good, bad until it comes out in an email, right? Unless you work at that level with them. And even then, there's still layers upon layers upon layers. But when you are a CEO of a small business, you're right there in the trenches with your team. And if you don't think that they can't feel when you're stressed out, when you are disappointed, when you are down on your luck, when something isn't going right, if you don't think they can feel that, you have fooled yourself. You are mistaken. The team of what keeps a team united is being honest and vulnerable, sharing that vulnerability with them, and then being a certain leader in uncertain times. To say, this is how we're going to get back on track from losing this Google contract. These are the things that I've done. This is the stake that I have in the game. And understand if you need to do something, but this is how I believe we can get out of this. Now coming back to work, you need to do more. Because that's what a lot of us do, because we're so scared. We're taking it in, we're digesting it, and then we're returning it to our team as stress. We're returning it to our team as demands. We're returning it to our team as commands. And let me tell you something. As CEOs, you all know, listen, ain't nobody ever gonna work for $1 harder than you. And I mean, sometimes it's hard because you're like, man, I had to work so hard for that dollar. And you just sit here like, you're right. It's like, well, hold on. I used to tell them, they would be like, well, we need this insurance. I'm like, okay, we can do that. But I just want to let y'all know that for me, I came. There was dirt. I built the beginnings of a home. I built a house. There was no table. I had to go chop down wood from a tree and put a table together. There were no seats. I had to do the same thing. Then I had to go out and hunt some food to get you here to be able to eat. Now we can have some napkins, sure. But I also want your grace and understanding how much I've had to do to even get to a conversation where we're talking about what benefits you. But that's the transparency, not in a condescending way, but in an honest way. Because and I'm saying this too, because a lot of young people think, we've grown up in the Instagram era. Your idea of entrepreneurship is wearing some Louboutins, walking through New York City, taking a photo, talking about boss girl moves. I'm like, what is this? Okay, I got my Crocs in my bag, because like when you really hustling, you can't be wearing all that. And so I think when people don't understand the real experience of entrepreneurship, and even people who've never been entrepreneurs that come from corporate that go over there, now I'm like, dang, I understand now what that vendor was going through. I can have a little more empathy now about the circumstance, because I realize that the requests that they had of me, that they have of me, are so egregious. But when you're sitting behind corporate veil, it's like, well, we need this. I know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I think we all have to ask ourselves at some point, to make a decision. Are we going to stare at a blank wall and ask ourselves, is this how it ends? Or are we going to make a decision to not be defined by doubt, but to be fueled by it? Those moments don't define your failure. They reveal your courage. When I was going through these moments, I never expected that I would be in a position to feel confidence to share them publicly. Okay? But I do, because I got to the other side of the water. So I feel it's my responsibility to share what could be there. Because if people suffer in silence, which a lot of entrepreneurs do, okay? Because a lot of this is also, small business is this, a small business, they're not prepared, and so you don't even want to share a weakness with people, because it's like, well, hold on. You don't even want to share a weakness with them. You just have to realize that courage is the one currency that grows in uncertain markets. I'm gonna say that again. Yes, please. Courage is the one currency that grows in uncertain markets. Okay? So what does it take to not only survive but thrive in this environment? And I want to make sure I'm good on time and everything. I want to offer a framework that I use with entrepreneurs and institutions that I advise. And I call it the 4 C's of confident leadership in uncertain times. Ready? All right, let's go. So the first C is clarity. Uncertainty thrives in confusion. Your job as a leader is to provide clarity, first for yourself and then for others. As they say on the airplane, you put your whatever that thing is called on first, and then you help your neighbor. Okay, because if you both are flailing and wailing and screaming and going crazy, and this is exactly what happens around uncertain leadership and untransparent leadership during times of uncertainty. If you know the market is volatile right now, I think it's important to have that conversation with your team, because you're going to need to open source how you pivot during this time, so that it's not just your responsibility to come up with the ideas. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
But you also need to ask yourself during this time, what is your core mission? Is it aligned with this moment? What problems do you solve that no one else can? And even if others can, it's about how do you solve it or present it in a way that will get you to the deal first. The idea that you do something that nobody else does, there are billions of people in this world. But my question is, how do you get to close the deal faster than the other person who does what you do? That's what you need to focus on, supporting, engaging, strengthening your strategy around. And what does success actually look like over the next 6 months? So we're here. We're at the up and down, the bipolar dynamics of tariffs. What do you need to do to make sure that if you're in retail, that the tariffs for the next 6 months, you're good? Not, oh my God, the tariff changed again. No, we know it's gonna change. So now be a certain leader and just be prepared that change is about to happen. And if it doesn't, great. If it does, you're ready. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
Because you have, every day you wake up, you have a choice to complain about something or to step forward the strategy that you have in motion for how you're going to respond to something. You just get 1 or 2 moments to really be affected by it. Meaning like, oh God, this came out of nowhere. And I give you that the first time. Maybe I give it to you the second time. But after that, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to stare at the wall and say, this is how it ends? Or are you going to figure out how to move? And so part of this is also about being cash flow conscious. Business Insider did an article about me when it was about when I first started my business, one of my businesses. I went in my, I was looking for funding and all this. I put in my closet. And I said, I got this Gucci bag, this Louis Vuitton bag, this. I put all that stuff on eBay and sold it because I said, listen, there's no reason for me to have these bags right now if I can sell these bags and take that capital and put it in my business. Now, if I believe in myself, we can clap for that. A lot of people, again, are in these moments where they say, well, where am I going to get the money from? And it's like, girl, you got on, a Gucci purse. What are you talking about? Where you going to get the money from? Like, this is not about making everything that you do just feel easy. That's not the path of entrepreneurship. That's not the righteous path that you get to walk. You got to give up something to get something. You got to sacrifice something to get to the next level. So what are you prepared to sacrifice? So I took all my stuff, I put it on eBay. And I said to myself then, if I was the kind of entrepreneur and businesswoman I believe myself to be, I'll get that back tenfold.
That's right.
And so what I did was I put a metric on myself. Every time I got a new contract, at the end of the year, I would go and buy myself a new bag. And that bag represented a success story of the year. And not keeping up with the Joneses. Right. It felt different. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
All right. So be cash flow conscious, because here's the reality. Cash is not just king, it's your oxygen. Come on now. I think you all know what that looks like. But as Kanye said, having money is not everything, not having it is. And when you don't have money, you realize you don't have money. I mean, it is stressful to not have money. It's stressful. It's stressful. In the Maslow hierarchy of needs, being able to just fundamentally take care of yourself allows you to unlock the next level of creativity and the next level and the next level of what it requires of you to become your best self. But if you are constantly in a space where you are thinking about just foundationally how you're going to even pay rent, how you're going to pay the Comcast cable bill, how you're going to pay this person that's working next to you that's getting on your nerves, you can't get to the next level of innovation. And then again, I mean, I see people, just, then you start looking at them like, you ain't even doing nothing for this dollar.
Tell it. Tell it.
So much sleep over this dollar. Okay. But, and I always tell people this, and I know I'm on a tangent, but if you want to be a good business owner, you need to learn how to be a good employee. I'm gonna sit with that for a second.
Let's sit with that.
If you want to learn how to be a good business owner, you need to know how to be a good employee. Here's why. When you're a good employee, you respect where you work. You respect where you work is doing. You look for ways to contribute. And then what you do typically is you go above and beyond because you want to get something out of it, because you realize you're playing this game not just for them, but for you. Because you're a good employee. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
Because the game is to be played for you. So that then you get to a point where you ask yourself, if you go, on the curve, right? You get to a point where the law of diminishing returns kicks in. That's what you should pursue everything for. When do I get to the point of the law of diminishing returns? If I can get to the law of diminishing returns, meaning I've gotten everything I can get from this role. Now I'm probably the person that wants to go off on my own. But I've gotten everything I can get from this role. But I've also got these things. I got what it means to listen to a manager or a leader. I got what it means to be a part of following into command. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
Because listen, as small business owners, you're leading a team now. And sometimes your teams try to buck the system. I mean, let's do it. I got anybody just with a, oh yeah.
Hashtag no lies detected. Hashtag big facts.
Because the idea that entrepreneurship is a pathway that is not about being a character, of being a quality, of being a consistency, of following chain of command is a farce. So to be a good business owner, and this is what a lot of people need to learn, you have to know how to be a good employee. Because how can you also instill in the people that work for you the values that you want them to have if you didn't even have those values when you work somewhere? And now you're on the other side of the pendulum, and again, I keep going back to that dollar took you so much blood, sweat, and tears to get it. And you are close in proximity, in trenches with them, looking at them, and you can either be looking at them with disdain, because I know somebody that got it, because I've done it.
Yeah.
Or you could be looking at them with a sense of inspiration as it relates to partnership and seeing their growth and seeing how their contributions are supporting yours and knowing it's not their job to be you. You chose this path. Their job is to be the best employee they can for you. And because you were the best employee you could be somewhere else, you get it. Everybody with me? Yes. They didn't choose the life of entrepreneurship. They chose the job. The job was the truth. Yeah. So you can't pledge them and hate them and make them go through your entrepreneurial journey just because you're paying them. No. That's not how it works. But it happens like that because the reality is, as JP Morgan Chase said, the median small business owner only has 27 days of cash as a buffer. And so that means that one invoice delay or one client missed payment, and you're in that situation where you're looking at the person next to you with that type of stress. Are you still with me?
Yes.
All right. So you need to ask yourself, do you have a 90-day cash forecast? Okay. Are your receivables and payables working for you or against you? Because you get to determine the terms of payment. Now, I'm going to be honest and say this. It is important for small business owners to get this right. Because here's also where we get this wrong. Just because most corporations have anywhere from a 60 to a 90-day pay period. If they're great, they do 30 days. The idea that the moment that you deliver services is the moment that you get paid is not reality of business. But because many small business owners are so cash strapped, they're like, the moment I deliver it is the moment I'm getting paid. And so then they'll be following up with you, and you've got invoice, you've got your own receivable situation, and they calling you like you're not planning to pay them. But it's like, well, wait, your invoice said net 15 days, sir. Why are you calling me on day 2?
Let them know, Queen. Let them know.
Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Your invoice told me it was due on July 31st. It's the 26th. Now, if you would like it sooner, sure, we can have that conversation. But this is different. This is about you understanding your own cash flow problems, because I got to work on my cash flow problems with the way I pay vendors. Because just like you're budgeting, I'm budgeting. And it's not just the moment that you do it. And when I have people like that, I understand where they're coming from. But I also say, okay, you need to get a better hold on your receivables so that you are not putting your clients and customers in a situation where they feel like you are hounding them and your request is not even in alignment with the terms of your own invoice. Unless we sign a contract about due on receipt, don't call me on the first day. Don't call me on the first day. That's your job. It's your job to put the terms of payment in there. My job to agree to it, our job to sign off on it and to comply. But this is almost like a I don't trust dynamic, right? It's like I don't trust them to pay me. Well, then don't do business with me if you didn't trust me to pay you in the first place. Okay? Because the food insecurity that you have, the cash insecurity that you have, cannot become my problem. Come on now, everybody still with me?
Yes.
I can't therapy you through that because that's not my job.
Right.
My job is to make sure that I have the money to pay you and I pay you in the sufficient time. And most of the time we pay it before it's due. But again, many people don't realize what their own payment terms are. And will literally call you asking you about getting paid. And then don't do this, act like, well, I did business with so-and-so, she ain't paid me yet. So now you slander someone. You think I'm coming back to do business with you because you got cash insecurity that you gotta be, no. I'll put a premium on it, work with someone that's not gonna call me the next day. Everybody still with me on this?
Yes.
Unless you have the type of transactional service that requires something paid immediately, meaning point of sale service. You went into a retail place and bought something. If you are providing consulting services or some form of service, you need to figure out what your payment terms are. And you need to be clear with your clients about what those payment terms are. And here's the reality. You have the ability to control that. You can determine what your payment terms are. When I first started, I was just accepting whatever people's payment terms were. And then I said, oh God, I can't do this. I just wonder. Because I had a Fortune 500 company that didn't pay me for 6 months.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Some must have been there.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. It was outside of the scope of even their own practices. But after that, I said, okay, for me to even budget anything, but then again, this requires that you have some money that you can see. That's the next level. This is the Maslow next level. Everybody still with me? I need to be like, okay, my receivables are 15 days for this, 30 days for that. But you need to determine that. All right? And that's the question of, are your receivables and payables working for you or against you? And then do you know what your burn rate is? Who knows what burn rate is? Okay, who wants to answer? Who wants to answer what burn rate is? Go ahead, sir. You, right there.
Oh, how much money you have before you run out?
Yeah, well, it's how much money you spend every month.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can consider burn rate like your monthly household expenses, right? So what's your mortgage or your rent, how much you typically spend on groceries. It's like putting a budget together. And then say, okay, I know every month I average $5,000 that I spend every month. So if I average, and again, average is the high and the low. I'm gonna take it right, don't average it off the low. Average it off the high and the low. And then say, this is my monthly burn rate. So if I see I have $15,000 in the bank, I know I have 3 months worth of cash reserves in my account. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
But you can only get there if you know how much you spend every month. And you only know how much you spend every month if you know what you're doing in your business. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
So even if you aren't doing it today, you can still come up with scenarios of what a low or high burn rate could be. Meaning you might not have a full-time employee yet. And the high may be when you have one. What would the monthly salary for that person be and how much would you need to have that month? The low end of that could be you have a consultant and that person works with you X number of hours and this is when, everybody still with me?
Yes.
So that then even if you don't make the amount, you still know where you need to go. You've got a path to get somewhere. So when you look in the bank, you're not just looking at $15,000 and not knowing what it means. You're looking at $15,000 thinking, okay, I got 3 months of breathing room. 90 days of breathing room. Because you know on the low or high side what that means. All right. And build buffers, diversify income streams, okay? Revisit those fixed expenses that may be eating you alive, okay? And killing your agility. Do you need the big office space? I don't know. Do you need some of these things to make it look like you're bigger than you are? I don't know. Only you know what your fixed expenses officially need to be. And in times like this, you need to go back and question again. Listen, budget season happens every year in corporate America. And guarantee you every year, some departments are always asked, you need to cut. Some might get more money, you need to cut. And so with operations, the question is, what do you need to cut to still be able to achieve the greatest extent of what you need to do? And then my last two are community. You can't go it alone. Entrepreneurship may start with a dream, but it grows with a team. I'll say that again. Entrepreneurship may start with a dream, but it grows with a team. Partner across the sectors. Ask for help. It's okay not to know everything. People like to help people who ask. Okay? Share what you've learned. Be a part of the ecosystem by then infusing that information back. Join coalitions, build councils, expand your social capital by building relationships with people. When you lock arms with others, you turn instability into infrastructure. Did you hear what I just said? Come on, church.
Clock it.
When you lock arms with others, you turn instability into infrastructure. Okay? Lastly, when the old rules no longer apply, your competitive advantage is your ability to innovate. Okay? Can you repackage your offerings? Like I said, you get 2 times to sit home and cry. The first time you get to feel punched, and you like, the second time you might cry because you tried something, and you like, but the third time you got to get back up and be like, okay, what do I need to do to respond to the market? And it's not standing on the other side of the toll road complaining about the fact that the toll changed. Right, still with me? Because we've seen industries where that's happened. Where have we seen that? We've seen that with Uber in the taxi industry. It's coming for you whether you want it to or not. And either you're going to get with it or you're not. So can you repackage your offerings? Can you serve new markets? As Jay-Z said, I smarten up, I open the market up. Can you lean into digital tools and enhance delivery? Anybody that requires somebody to physically come into their office, I have to ask you, you need to challenge yourself to think about the sustainability of that model. If you are physically requiring me to come into your office for anything, I have to ask you to challenge your model. You know why? Because when COVID happened, it wasn't no office to go to, and business still happened. We had to go through a transition of technology. Now, sure, I'd love you to come in and we can meet and I give you that human touch. But if I am required to come into your office as a function of what you do, unless you do something in top secret classified circumstances, even banking can happen without me ever going to my bank. Everybody still with me?
With you.
Okay. Some of the most successful businesses today were born or reborn out of constraint. Okay? And let's just talk about the practicality as we move on and I close. And give you something tangible to walk away with. When you return to your business, ask yourself this, and your team, okay, these questions. What one area of your business would fail first in a downturn? What one area of your business would fail first in a downturn? What do your customers need today that we haven't yet offered? And again, that could have been the option not to come into your office and see you, right? Who can we partner with this quarter that expands our reach and lowers our costs? Anybody need me to say those again?
Yes.
Number one, what one area of our business would fail first in a downturn? 2, what do our customers need today that we haven't yet offered? 3, who can we partner with this quarter that expands our reach or lowers our cost? We often look for these big wins, but in uncertain times, small moves can change the entire trajectory. Okay? And so, the vision. I want you to do something for a second. I want you all to close your eyes for a second. I want you all to close your eyes, and I want you to think of the hardest moment that you faced in business. Close your eyes, because you're looking right at me. Close your eyes for a second. No writing. I can see in green, Miss Lady in green here, pink and green right over here. Close your eyes. You looking at me. Close your eyes. If you're looking at me, your eyes are closed. Okay? And think about the hardest moment that you faced in your business. I want you to give yourself the dignity of recalling this. This is why I'm asking you to just give yourself this moment, okay? And then I want you to think of the moment you knew without question that you were built for this, okay? That strength, that vision, that determination, that is what you bring into this room today. You can open your eyes. Okay? Everybody should have had something. I don't care if we're in college, in high school, you failed a test, a quiz, if you ain't had no trials, I don't know what to tell you. I tell people this all the time. I don't take entrepreneurship advice from somebody who's never failed.
Okay.
You will fail first and you come back and
Okay.
make it off. But until you can give me a failure story that you survived, I don't trust your wisdom. That's serious business.
Yes.
If you don't have a failure story that you have survived in business, I do not trust your wisdom. Because it shows me that either you don't learn from your lessons or that you ain't been doing much.
Oh.
Because even the smallest of something is going to test you. So if you couldn't close your eyes and think of one thing that challenged you, we're going to have to get you out there bigger, better, and bolder. Because you're not putting yourself out there like that. Small business is not just a pathway to profit, it's a platform for purpose. It is where culture is created, wealth is built, and innovation is born. And despite the storms we've weathered, despite the cuts, the inflation, the doubt, you are still here, still building, still dreaming, and still showing up. That, my friends, is power. Not just small business pro power, but your power. So I invite you today to not just learn from this conference as I close out, but to lead from it, okay? Make a connection, make a plan, and most importantly, make a promise to yourself that uncertain times will never be greater than your capacity to rise, okay? Uncertainty may be the terrain, but purpose is your compass. Let it guide you and nothing will be impossible. Thank you, and let's make this day.
Can we give it up again for Quinn, Natalie, listen, give it up. This is my Queen soror, and we just realized we got an award on stage last year together in DC. Oh my goodness. So I'm taking notes, so I'm just gonna run through some of those notes again. Because you was dropping bombs for your mom, killing hard bombs. But you listen, you brought it up like big facts, no lies detected. Thank you, Queen.
Absolutely, thank you.
Do y'all know this is being live? streamed? You know this is being live streamed?
Yes.
So let's show us some love. Let's show some love to the people who are watching live on streaming. Let's yell straight up. We're so happy you're here. We're hoping that you're doing the exercises, but we want you to know that we are happy that you're here. I apologize for not giving you a proper welcome. And so we're going to keep following up with you all who are being live streamed. And we're going to keep this party going. Would y'all mind if I just say a couple of words about what this queen just said to us? Just reiterate. It'll be in my language. It'll be in my language. Is that okay, queen? Is that okay? Is that okay for the live audience? As we get prepared for the next queen to enter the stage. So Queen Natalie, you see, if I'm writing something, you definitely teaching me. Now I gotta find, okay. There were 4 things you brought up that I said, you better tell it. You better tell it. How many of us have had somebody little girl us? Or make us feel like you'll never sit with you never sit with the cool kids. Or you knew deliberately blocked you from being certain places. I'm gonna raise my hand because it's definitely happened to me. But let me tell you how good our God is. Let me tell you how good it is when you have the right network that will take you from having to be the female MacGyver of business and using cracks in the doors, 2 toothpicks, and trying to go through this to walk you through the front door on the red carpet, leaving them all confounded. So I've been a little girl. I've been told the way you speak, you need to be taught by this man. He has a system. My God has a system. Has given me this system 30 years ago. I started speaking at 16 years old. I don't need a certification by him when I've been blessed by God. So one of the things you must learn is sometimes your gift, your talent, your vision, and your ability supersedes the rules. Being the killer pitch master, they said, you can't name your book Bad Bitches and Power Pitches. It's a little too crass, but no one had a problem with you're a badass at making money or go to death to sleep. Do you want to know why? Because I'm Black. And it should be this way and this way. I said I'm the killer pitch master. You either hate it or love it, but we will never be lukewarm. Never. So the same people who said you'll never have things, who had a billboard in Times Square at 40 years old? Whose book Forbes magazine reviewed and didn't pay a dime? And they called me, well, we can't say if we're gonna trash it or not. Trash it. I'm a Black woman. If you trash it, they're gonna want it even more. Is that what happened? No. They said pitching is bitching in Forbes. When have you ever known them to use a curse word? But it was a business book. And these books are sold in bulk to companies around the world. I'm still Black on both sides. No Brazilian butt lip, no 6-pack abs. Some of y'all like, obviously. Obviously. There's something else that I took from our queen. So there will be people who will block you because they can't see what God put in you. They can't see the vision that you have. But others, more highly favored, will. And will walk you through the front door on the red carpet. The second thing, positioning. Queen, you talked a lot about, when the right people see you. The right people. So some of us are thinking about, we need to make a sale over here. When there are people over here who see you in a totally different light and want to invite you in these rooms. So I'm going to ask a question. Are you the Kia, the Lexus, or the Rolls Royce of your industry? Let me ask again. Are you the Kia, the Lexus, or the Rolls Royce of your industry?
The Rolls Royce.
Everybody will say that. But I'm asking you, do you have Rolls Royce clients? I'm going to talk that talk, read. I'm going to talk, but I'm going to walk that walk. I'm walking like I'm talking. What? Walking like I'm talking. For the live stream, because our queen is getting ready to come up here and give us that word.
I have Kia clients right now.
Huh?
Give us a second.
There's nothing wrong with having Kia clients. But it's nice to know where you are, because most of us are saying we're this and we're that. But why is it important? All three will get you from point A to point B.
That's right.
The Kia it just determines if you're going to get paid and how much. You might say, well, I put myself out there like that. What does the market say you are? Are you using the right language? Why pitching and sales are so important? So the Lexus is a premium product, you will get paid. Premium gas, premium all of that. But the Rolls Royce is rare. You name your price, it will get paid because it's an honor to be seen with you because you're rare. So what does that have to do with positioning? The reason why I have the clients that I have is because I built real relationships and they put me in rooms that I never even knew existed. So to have a client like Verizon, think of it, BMW, Blackstone, all those, not because I'm black, not because I'm a woman, but because I'm the best in the world at what I do. And so are you. So I want y'all to think about that. Are you the Kia, the Lexus, or the Rolls Royce? And if you are the Kia, what will it take? The words and your network needs to change. Finally, Queen Natalie, you said something else. Before you can be a great business owner, you have to be a great employee. I wasn't as great of an employee as I could have been. And when I became a real business owner and then moving into CEO, I realized how badly entitled I was. And so now I'm working my way through all of that with my team. And I don't expect them to go as hard as I do in the paint. But you know what I do expect? To have real conversations about them, about their lives. What they contribute, you're a part of our team. And you are so needed here. If things are going on in the life, we can talk about that, but I need you. I need you. So thank you for sharing that with me, and that's why FaceTime and being in these rooms means so much. So you all, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready for who's coming next? I don't know if I'm introducing or Andrew's going to introduce. You going to introduce?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me just sit my butt down again. For the live stream, answer the question, are you the Kia, the Lexus, or the Rolls Royce? And see if that answer changes by the time the Power Conference is over.
All right, thank you, Precious. And thank you, Natalie. This was excellent, great message. As business owners and entrepreneurs, I think all of us could identify with what she's saying, but I'm sure everybody's learned something that they didn't know from what she said as well, including me. So, so definitely thank you for coming up, joining us. This is just the beginning of the Power Conference. So, have we supercharged your day yet? Yes. And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Word.
So, really looking forward to the rest of the day. Just to give you an idea of what we have coming up. We're going to have our breakout session number 1. Lakeisha Wilson is going to be moderating it. And then we've got Sharice and we've got Jack Cox, who are going to be the panelists. So they're going to be talking about financial management from A to Z. Natalie mentioned how important financials and understanding your numbers is. Well, this is a great panel to go into the details and talk to some people who really are experts and know about and understanding those things. So we're going to take a break though before we have the panel. So we're going to go at 10:45 because a big piece of this is networking. So we'll hang out here and network. The panel, the breakout session is going to be upstairs. So if for some reason you don't want to go to the breakout, you can still stay here and eat and network. But it is going to be a great breakout session. Breakout session 2 is going to be after that, and we're going to do that at probably 11:15, but we'll give you a heads up. That's from A to Z, CFO, taxes, accounting, bookkeeping. Next breakout session is the 10X Growth Accelerator, and that's by Urban Hughes. Over there, if you were there last night.
Oh, he lit.
Okay, right here. If you were there last night, you could see his energy and his passion. He is one of the best at what he does and really helps people to not only understand government contracting, but understand how to finance it because he's been on both sides and actually has created a company that helps you finance it because, the government really doesn't like to pay you in a timely way. That's the secret to being able to manage government contracts. So definitely you want to check his session out. And then we'll come back here for lunch. Excited to have Calvin Reed. He is one of the co-founders of the first cable franchise in Newark, New Jersey. One of the first cable franchises in the country. And, definitely, he's gone on to do a lot of great things as well. But, looking forward to having him, a lot of great wisdom, experience, and knowledge. So, looking forward to having him join us as well. And the lunch and afternoon sessions are sponsored by Verizon Business. So we're excited about having them here as well. And thank you for joining us. Okay, so we're gonna take a break, have a little bit of, till like 10:45. Still got food and other stuff. And Natalie's gonna be here so you can chat with her for a little bit before she heads out. So thank you.